Hey, yo. What's up,
Hello.
everybody? How are
I
we?
just realized I have the YouTube open. I need to see the commentos.
How are we starting off our New Year's? How's everyone's weekend? How is everyone's month so far? Because I wanted to work a convention at the beginning of December, took my shot a wee bit early, but I don't want to throw off my shot schedule for 2024. So I'm waiting out the time. Tear down my face. But I take it on the 11th, which is this week. So I'm very excited. But this is officially the blast I have felt in 2024 because it's still raining.
Oh,
Actually, it wouldn't be so bad. See, if it had been raining for like 4 days straight, I'd actually be fine because like there's no real shift in pressure when it just continues to rain. It's the on and off again rain that
yeah.
is my nemesis.
It snowed last night. To my surprise, it was so humid today. It was so cold.
Yeah, it's been snowing here for the past couple days, but it had been a hot minute since it snowed. I've been
A hot minute.
all right. Work has been a lot of fun lately, which is nice. It's like instead of being busy in a stressful way, I'm busy in a fun way, and that's always nice.
Yeah, I like being busy.
I'm already over the cold and the darkness and the
Ew. I feel that. I sent out my first newsletter of the year yesterday.
I saw
It said so in the newsletter, but just to let everybody know, the email security, I don't think it's laws, I think it's just terms of service for Google and Yahoo specifically, are that they are now going to like mark bulk emails from free email domains like Google and Gmail as spam. So you will now be receiving your email or your newsletters from me from novelist@samanthallmasset.com. So
I like that you put novelist rather than like hello or like your name.
Fox and I
I think it's quite cheeky.
He was like, here's the industry standards. And I'm like, I want to do something professional, but something me. So I didn't like hello or contact or whatever the other one was.
info, maybe?
Yes, I think information. I was like, no, it sounds too impersonal, but also I knew I couldn't. This wasn't even Fox saying no. I just knew that I couldn't. It's because it's like not my brand. It's more just like an inside joke with my friends and anybody who watches streams. But I wanted to put immortal at samanthallmasset.com. But I could not. But yeah, so if anybody notices that like they're not receiving newsletters from somebody that they were previously subscribed to who like sent it to from an @Gmail or an @other things, then that might be why, because you do have to like pay for an email from your own domain. But it's like I was planning on doing it at some point. What do you mean no? What are you knowing? I don't even know what he's knowing. Probably my immortal. I'm allowed to talk to people about the things that I wanted. I also chose novelist, so. Hey, yo, and welcome to the new year.
Hello.
Hey, it's been a hot minute, ma'am. Where you been?
You could even say it's been a year.
No, I saw Sailor Twilight at some point last. Oh, well, I see what you did there. Is it because I haven't done a Sailor Moon Let's Talk? You should harass CB for me, Sailor Twilight. You should be all like, CB, I demand you watch the Sailor Moon episode so Sam can finish her series. Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Although, to be fair, I think what we're actually waiting on is they had finally announced the Sailor Crystal. Sailor Moon Crystal. My God, I forgot what the fuck that was called. I think they finally announced Sailor Moon Crystal's Stars season or movie. They announced that they were going to do Stars. So I think that's what we were waiting on, actually, is for Stars to come out. Which, for anybody who hasn't seen my Sailor Moon Let's Talks, when I announce the next one, y'all should just binge the backlog because they're entertaining and you really don't need to know anything about Sailor Moon. Like we started them with me. It was me and Cody. We were Moonies, as I hate that term, but that's the fandom term. We were Moonies.
Never heard that before.
And like we grew up with Sailor Moon. Cody somehow discovered his gay awakening with Sailor Uranus. I will forever tease him about that because Sailor Uranus is a woman, a very butch woman, but a woman. And CB had never even heard of it. You know, like Sailor Moon had been finished by the time CB was even born. Like it was over and done with.
Oh my God, I'm old.
You're not.
So she. I remember when Yu Hakusho was like 25th anniversary thing, and I was like, "Excuse you, how many? What?" But yeah. So we wanted to talk about it, and we wanted to talk about Crystal, and CB was like, "Okay, well, I'll talk about it with you." And she was basically our audience surrogate, like knowing nothing about it, so that she would ask us questions and for like clarity and stuff. But she enjoyed our description of season 1 so much she wanted to watch it. So she has like maintained being a season behind us. But also it's a hard one. Why are you telling me to stop it? You can't do this with no context, sir. It's a silly fandom name, but it is what it is, alas. But yeah, so my writing for this year has not been the best. This is as in let me rephrase. I am enjoying the revisions that I'm doing, but being able to do the revisions has not been the easiest to get time, primarily just because my migraines are fucking up my sleep schedule. So and the kids have gone back to school, so like before I had started getting a lot of writing done between like 9:30/10 and 1 in the morning, because on vacations that's when they go to sleep at 1. But now at like 9 I have to go upstairs to do the kid bedtime, and my son does I might have to buy myself a mom chair for my son's room because his chair is not mom butt compatible.
Oh.
I'm not doing work there, although I did like finish my newsletter there last night, so that's why y'all got a newsletter. Yeah, it's a silly fan. Oh, yeah. So Fox, PHOX, is my bestie, and the stream, yeah, very much. He's like the Phantom of the Opera, but for the he DMs me things on Discord, and I respond to them because he'd probably be fine if I just type responded to him, but this is how I am, so this is where we are. Speaking of how I am and where we are, Mimi, it is time if I can find the right thingy.
Oh boy.
Are you ready for your first intro?
Get ready. Hold on.
And I don't feel like this is the right layout. Maybe this one? Nope. Well, this is the layout we're going with.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Mimi. I am a dark fantasy and horror writer Currently working on, I chose finally out of different projects which one I think might be my debut novel. I lovingly call it Hellbook. And I'm still, drafting it. And it's been going fast and it's been going slow and it's been wonderful and it's been frustrating and all of the above. You can find all my socials at Mirav Levy Writes everywhere. And yeah.
Maybe that was so quick.
I don't have much to say.
Every time it pops up, I read over the bio again, and I'm like, has 2 bunnies. Hits me every time. But hi, everyone. I'm Tina, aka Cabby. I make queer art and comics. I have a bunch of short stories that are complete-ish. There's The Deep, which is a complete one-off of a 2 deep-sea mermaids discussing job satisfaction. And then I have sort of a little one-off series of a lesbian vampire and her human girlfriend called Coffin Bed. And then my current project, One Mystery Treat, is a gay secret admirer story where the drama it is on. We've got a ton of drama this last update that happened this past Saturday, because it's every other Saturday, and last Saturday was an update day, and so I'm excited to see you all screaming at me in the comments. But it's only going to get more from there. I'm so excited. But yeah, you can read all my stuff online at my website. My link tree also has the specific platforms, except I'm actually posting One Mystery Treat on a new platform. I gotta sort that out of the promotionies. And yeah, I will put my links in the comments too, because I'm the link queen and that's what I do. Sam, you were doing this, and I don't know what you meant.
Oh, the pointing to the.
Ah, okay. You were backing me up. I wasn't sure if you were trying to be like, and I was like, I'm confused.
No, if I want to cut you off, I'll just do this. That's. So I am writing Mom Samantha Ellen Asset. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. I host live streams like these on Mondays. In January, we're just doing write-ins, but I also like to do other things like Let's Talks. What other things do I do? Let's Talks, parties, flash fiction free-for-alls. We just aim to have a good time here. I'm also going to start streaming every other Wednesday, starting this Wednesday from 1 to 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, from 1 to 4 p.m. on, starting this Wednesday. Central Standard Time, Central Daylight Time, whichever one we're in right now. So you can join me there. They are specifically WIP Wednesdays. So the only things I will be doing on Wednesdays are working on Save Her Soul. You can follow or find me at Samantha L. Nassett literally everywhere. If I exist there, that is where I am. And if you would like to join my Discord, I have a Coffee Cookie Ko-Fi. You can join the $1 key down below. Let's return us to the thinger. Let's go in the jiggy. Yes. I got catching back up on the chat. Yes. This is a very pretty dress.
Yes.
Use Procreate. That's what I draw with too. I love my Apple Pen.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm currently using it for comics. I use Clip Studio Paint for like illustrations and drawings. For illustrations and drawings, I use Procreate. And I do really like it. It's really a nice program.
Yeah, sorry for being FK for a while. I basically hosted Thanksgiving while here visiting. The Rents got sick with pneumonia. Stepdad went to the hospital. Then we wrapped the school year. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Ain't no problem. I'm just happy to see you back. And I'm sorry that that you got pneumonia. That shit sucks. But that was all after Nano 2. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I'm glad
jeez.
you survived. Yeah. Glad to see. My new year is going great. Started school today and finished the first draft of my whip last week. Nice! Congrats! Yeah. You should have saved the last sentence for tonight. No, I'm kidding. I'm glad. Also, I must show you all. Currently, my computer buddy.
Oh.
There we go. It was cutting her off in a weird way.
It's weird seeing the streamer behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Don't mind all the people I randomly DM for Monopoly Go stuff. It's fine.
I was like, you're gonna spy on your friends.
Hold on, let me see how many of my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Okay, yeah, about half the people, or no, a third of the people there are people that like. I know. It's 1 to 3. It's 3 hours, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. People will figure it out when I don't stop at 3.
It's because 1 to 4 or 1 to.
One to 3 is 2 hours.
1 to 3.
Yeah, 1 to 3 is 2 hours. So I done the fuck up. But it's supposed to be at 3 hours.
Because I was trying to translate it to my time zone by going an hour forward. I never remember whether I'm ahead or behind you.
Ahead of me.
I'm in the future.
There's no American that will be ahead of you. No American from the US of A.
Yeah. Well, unless they're living in Nova Scotia.
Then they're not an American of the US of A. They're Canadian at that point.
What about the tourists?
They're not living there. They're living there. They're not a tourist anymore. Yeah, how'd you do with your nano? I was going to say a thing, and then I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so I've joined a readathon, and let me tell you, like, I started reading this one, right? Absolutely Normal Chaos. Mm-hmm. And then I also got the audiobook for The Lovely Bones. So I was like, okay, I can go back and forth between the two because I can listen to The Lovely Bones when I'm like doing dishes or laying in bed and I can't sleep, but I'm keeping my eyes closed to rest. A very tonal difference I was not aware of between The Lovely Bones and this book.
Yeah, The Lovely Bones, I remember.
Dark.
Yeah, I thought it was dark. If I remember correctly.
Quite dark. It's told from the perspective of a girl who was murdered, and she's like in her version of heaven, and she tells you all about her murder, like what happened, what led up to it. She goes into detail of her murder, and then like them trying to find her after the murder and everything. And I was like, I should really read summaries before I start books. Am I going to? No, but this one, on the other hand, is like super cute.
It looks like, cute.
Yeah, well, her English teacher told her that what she needed to do, or like her class, not her specifically, but told the class that they should write journals over the summer for their English teacher next year, because it's a small-ish town, I guess. So, you know, they're probably all going to have the same English teacher the next year. And so she's like, the book format is written like her journal, right? There's no chapters, it's just entries. And like some of the entries are a couple pages, and then here's this entry, which is like one sentence. And sometimes she just writes it like a journal entry, and then in this one entry she's all like, I'm going to attempt some dialogue now, and then she like writes it like kind of a regular scene. The author was a little cheeky, because in this, like the first time she does it, it's like he said, I said, and then she's like, you really don't need all these saids to tell who's talking, so I'm not going to keep putting them. I was like, damn, when was this written? And then there's another part where she's like so fed up with everyone, and she's like, let me tell you what, I'm going to set the scene for you like a play. And then she's like writing it as like a play script. And so I'm like really glad that I picked this one, that I was able to grab this one physically, because just like reading the different formats. Oh, and like also she started the summer reading list for the grades had come out, and so she picked up the Odyssey. And so every now and then she'll like have these little things that's just like her reading journal within her journal of her reading the Odyssey. And she says that like she writes it in a red ink pen, which I'm like, oh, I wish it could have been printed in red. That would have been cool, but I understand why not. It is, however, done in italics and formatted smaller, so you can tell the difference. But like one of the subtitles for it was Sleeping Through the Odyssey, and I'm like, this child keeps her journals for school the way I used to. Because I remember we were supposed to do reading journals for fucking the Grapes of Wrath, and one of them one of my journal headers was like, but why the turtle? I remember almost nothing else from that book. Just having to read, I think it was around 20 pages, about this turtle trying and failing to cross the road, and then a car comes, hits the turtle. And I remember writing in the journal that I was going to be so mad if the turtle died. I was like, I have invested too much time into Michelangelo. He cannot die. I named the turtle. Yeah, the car hits the turtle, and the turtle like ends up flying to the other end of the road, and then like gets up and starts walking again. And I'm like, what? You never hear about this turtle again. So we are gonna go into our first.
I was so confused that this was the plot of the book you were describing, and I thought you were saying that one of your children was doing like journals for the summer, and I was like, it's January? And then I was like, I don't think your child is old enough to be, well, they could read the Odyssey. I don't know if they would understand it. It's pretty dense. But
Oh no, my oldest is a little older than I was when I read the Odyssey. So
yeah, your youngest though.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's more who I was thinking.
I was 10 or 11, so he's a little younger than I was, but I believe in them. I don't think they should read the Odyssey, at least not at this age, but I believe in them. So we're gonna, if I can find the tab. All of the programs that I'm using right now have similar looking icons at the bottom of my screen. I'm like, for why? Mm-hmm. All right. So who wants to count us down?
Me.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Can we back? So how did everybody do this, right?
Good.
Oh, and what are you working on?
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought about that. I knitted. I chatted. I booked a vet appointment for the bunnies that I've been meaning to do for a while because I realized instead of having to call them when they're open, I can just book through their website.
Convenient.
So, yeah. It's one of those where they'll call me.
Two bunnies.
Oh, yeah, 2 bunnies. It's one of those where they'll probably call me to like confirm like what day I'm actually going, but the fact that I can just like give them all the info to book it is
yeah,
handy.
and then they call you. You don't have to remember to call them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because like if they call me during work or whatever, like it's pretty easy for me to just step out briefly and arrange all that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And unfortunately, though, the new route to the vet, Luna won't be able to watch the window of the streetcar because the streetcar is not open for a while.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I have to take her for a ride in an Uber. Get the view.
Mimi. Hold on, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I didn't unmute myself after it finished. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
so common.
reading.
I do it all the time.
Oh, I was just saying that's so common for people to do that it's on like every bingo board for write-a-thons that I have seen. Toaster Ghost forgets to unmute. So,
yeah,
no worries. Right, go on.
I'm beta reading a manuscript and I'm trying to like fly as fast as possible. I'm on page 103 out of 425.
Damn.
So I'm just like, I think I got like 70 pages done today so far.
Yeah, I was listening to a live stream on somebody who's a very successful self-published author, Sarah Cannon. It's Heartbreathing. Yes. And she was talking about, in the live stream, she was talking about like, you know, beta reader processes and stuff. And she's like, it depends on how you do your beta reading process, on how long it takes. She's like, some people give their betas like a week or something. She's like, no, mine take a couple days. And I'm like, hot damn. And then she's like, if your beta's taken a month to read your whole book, she's like, you need new betas. I was like, I have to reevaluate some of my professional life decisions, I guess. But so it's an interesting perspective. I mean, I don't like just taking one person's word for things, so I'm gonna look into it and see, like, you know, what the mileage is may vary, but you trying to like speed through it and get it done that reminded me of that.
I just, you know, I've promised other people I'd read their work. So I'm just like, oh my God, I just need to get this manuscript out of the way, you know, because it takes a lot out of me. I go slower when I beta read because I have to comment, you know what I mean?
Oh.
And, you know, it just feels overwhelming when I have a whole manuscript like on the get-go. Like, oh, here's 430 pages. And I'm just like, I hope you earned those 430 pages. Why is your book 430 pages?
I'm definitely not going to send my betas my whole manuscript at once because I need to know things as the story progresses. So, like, they're just getting chapters at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it did make me rethink giving them, like, a week per chapter. So I'm like, maybe I can shorten it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am so freaking behind on giving feedback to them.
Only 3 chapters behind, and you know what? It's fine.
There's only 3? I thought I was already behind by like 5.
No, I don't get 4 or 5 yet. I'm still revising 5 for myself. Why would I give it to you? I actually, I'm gonna go to chat and then I'll tell everybody how I did. But yeah, I actually started working on revising 5 more today. No, for CPs and anybody interested, I draft a chapter, then I self-revise. Then I move on to the next chapter, and every 3 chapters I stop and I go back and I revise with the next 2 chapters in mind and any revisions I made from the previous ones. And then I send them to Fox for the alpha critiques because he needs to translate the dyslexic. And then I send it to everybody else. And then I save everyone else's feedback until I have everyone else's feedback, and then I'll go and do a final critique revision where I'll be DMing people their opinions on things. But yeah, so far only Mimi has gotten back to me about those. So you're not behind, Tina.
Okay,
I'm shocked. Oh my gosh. Because it's been a while, I think. Right? When did I give those back to you?
So Sailor Twilight got 41 words, almost 42 words for Thanksgiving hit and all the stuff with it, but that wasn't too bad. Hey, 41 words, or 41,000, almost 42,000 words in a month, bruh. That I did 36,000 words last year, and 6 months of that wasn't drafting. It was research notes and outlining. So you did good. I have one before.
Nice.
2 years I did it. Nice. I congratulate you. Still a whole bunch of words. Great job. Exactly. I got more notes done for my Mead class. Awesome. I have accomplished a shower, hot cocoa, and part of dinner. That's
Now
great.
I need a hot cocoa. I'm gonna make a hot cocoa.
Chris came in and brought me dinner right as the sprint was starting. And so if you can see me ravenously shoving it in my face, because I realized I had felt too queasy to eat, but then when I smelt the food, my body was like, why haven't you eaten today? And I'm like, this was not my fault, body. This was you. But yeah, and I started watching Read with Cindy's review on Hooked. And there's a part where apparently, like, Wendy is Peter's daughter. It's a dark fantasy romance. I'm going to say inspired by.
Oh, I've heard of this one.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Because it's definitely not a retelling if Wendy is Peter's son or daughter. Wendy is Peter's daughter. And he like has this airline called Never Air Lines or something, kind of like Neverland but Never Air. And
that's cute.
yeah, if there was something else, and then Cindy is all like, yeah, the like references and stuff, they're really subtle, very layered in there. I love her. And then I as I was finishing my fries, I started reading the comic. I'm almost to the end of this comic. Like they're in the final battle. And it's an interesting premise on the was killed by Truck-kun and woke up in a novel thing. Because the main character is just the main character of the novel. But one of the side characters, the author, actually fell asleep and woke up inside the novel as the side character. And at first she wants to kill the main character so she can switch bodies to the main character. I don't actually know if that would work, and it doesn't matter because they're friends now. But so like she's got to try to help save this world because they're like dealing with the apocalypse, and I was like, I did not expect this to go anywhere near here. But it's like it's called A Villainess for the Tyrant. And like basically the tyrant and the main character get married, and he's like, you have to act like a villainess if you want to survive because people are going to try to use my weakness. So like they don't want somebody who's good and stuff because then they can't ally themselves with you to try to do. He's like, but if they think that I'm a simp for a self-serving evil woman, then you'll be safe. And she's like, okay, I want to live. So like it's so good. She does so well. But yeah, then like at 10 minutes left. I was like, no, I can't read. I have to work. And so I started revising. And I got to this part where it's just this word highlighted in yellow and it's tattoo. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did decide that it would be out of character for Moxie not to have a tattoo. And then I was like, but what kind of tattoo? And ultimately decided that I did not know enough about Nicaraguan tattoo culture for my brain to decide. So I started looking at that. And I now have like this 40-page research paper on the history of Nicaraguan body art that I have to read through. I don't have to, but I want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, like interestingly, I started with the Google search, like the Google Images search, just to see like patterns and stuff, or see if there was like anything, because you know, if you look up like Samoan or Hawaii tattoo patterns and stuff, you'll get like the tribal things, and so it's like I feel like it's a good starting point to try to see if there even is a cultural pattern. There are a lot of triangles with mountains in them. And I was like, what? Like this, I'm already fascinated. Why triangles with mountains? And this like horse head with sunray mane thing going on. So I'm like, I vaguely recognize it, but I don't. Oh, okay. So the tattoo with mountains is on the Nicaraguan flag. Chris pulled up to show me. So that explains that. That's the flag. But yeah, so I'm going to be reading about the history, which apparently there is a very long and extensive history of body art in the Nicaraguan culture. So I didn't just want to do like, I thought about it, but I was like, no, I should.
Not mountains, they're volcanoes.
Oh, they're volcano. What is a volcano if not a spicy mountain?
I understand, but like they're Nicaragua's home to like.
I understand it should be like volcanoes specifically, but
Tap Liberty.
it was the tone of your voice. I expected you to say it was something very different, but I'm like, it's just a spicy mountain. How is it racist?
Spicy? Really? Like,
Racist means volcanoes.
Because fire and spicy are not. I'm done with you. You're welcome for reminding you to make cocoa, RP says. What is the difference
do I get
between
up
a
now?
critique and a beta critique? Okay. For me, because this is very specifically me, but I do think other people might work this way too. I have an alpha critique partner, which is basically, that is my critique partner who has been with me from the idea phase, from the brain dump, from like he knows my outline, he knows my plans, he knows like just almost everything. I like run all like a lot of my ideas by him. I mean, sometimes running these ideas are just, this is a thing I'm gonna do, and then other times it's, hey, what do you think about this? And like if I'm unsure about a scene or something, I'll like ask him, is this flowing right? Is this doing that or whatever? And I mean, sometimes if my like PMDD or something is acting up, it's as simple as I just throw a chapter at him and be like, tell me it doesn't suck. And he's like, it doesn't suck. And I'm like, yes, of course it doesn't suck. Haha. So like, but then when he actually alpha critiques, after I do my 2 rounds of self-revisions, I send it to him and he goes through and he kind of takes care of a lot of what would probably be just glaring errors that everybody else saw, or just things that are really easy for me to fix. I just did not see them, but he's a fresh pair of eyes who's not dyslexic. So then like he basically helps me smooth it out so that my other critique partners have a little less work to do, and also so I don't have 6 people telling me that I had an extra word in one sentence, because that happens all the time. Like you don't need 2 ands in this sentence. And then I don't refer to them as beta critiques. They're just like my regular critiques, because then all of my critique partners get their own little fresh draft, and nobody see, at least nobody sees anybody else's critiques until after they're done with their critiques, because I'm stingy that way.
I feel like my like label of like alpha reader is much more simplistic. I kind of just define it as like someone who is giving feedback in like the beta reader phase, who is not a critique partner, because we are not exchanging works. So in my case, it's typically like a friend who isn't into writing and doesn't have a work for me to return. So I'm like, look at my thing, give feedback on my thing, please. And then they give feedback on the thing. That's kind of how I use it. I don't know if it's correct.
Fox has been my alpha critique partner since before he actually started writing his own stuff. So,
yeah, I also have like a friend that I run ideas by, or I'll just be like, help, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. And they'll give me like, try this, try that. Cause they're super creative, and it's just like, okay. They're also there to like encourage me.
Yeah.
So there's that. Yeah. But
Fox said everything you don't keep in your head and tell me. Look, as my best friend and critique partner, he has also randomly gotten a call during his workday, because he works from home at the moment. So he got a random call from me on Discord, and I was like, Fox, I want to figure out how to not do this thing, but I think I'm going to have to do this thing, but I don't want to do this thing. It was, I had told myself I would never have an MC with firepower, because I just felt like the market's oversaturated and they're overrated for a lot of the ones that are out there are overrated. So I was like, I will not have an MC with fire powers. Just ain't going to do it. But then I got this idea for a character inspired by like a song, and the only way I could imagine her was with fire powers. And I was like, Fox, I don't want to. And it was literally like somewhere between a half hour to an hour of me just having this existential crisis, and him being like, you have to do it. He was like, you could do lightning, and I'm like, it's not the same. It doesn't work the same. So she's gonna have fire powers whenever I write that story. that is against my will. Nicole says, wow, I just realized that I haven't said anything. I'm working on my new story, Still Beauty and the Beast, modern day retelling dark romance. Ooh.
Nice.
I like these words you have strung together. Got some words down and mostly plotting and brainstorming, but also got a phone call, and that took a chunk of my time. I'm working on book 4 still, made a deadline of January 31st. Excuse me. You can do it.
You can do it.
Does anybody have any tips for writing dark romance? I have not read many dark romances. I want to. It is because I feel, novels. I have not read many dark romance novels. I think the biggest thing to keep in mind for dark romance stories in general is just your target audience is adults, and so you don't particularly have to worry about if this is a healthy romance so much as just does this appeal like to the readers. Like, are the questionable things you're doing still going to appeal to a romance audience who's into dark romances? Because let me tell you, I read a lot of questionable romances. So, and I'll defend my questionable romance. I mean, the villain is for the tyrant. That shit's questionable. But so good. He's all like, oh no, she's gonna be like upset at me for this one reason, and she's like, no, oh, by the way, I figured all the countries that you want to go to war with were like involved in these weird experiments. Let's just wipe them all out and then see if we can find a cure. Like,
wow.
I love that they're on this together. I love it. like when she first got there, she was angry that she had been sold off to him. So she was like, I'm gonna make all these weird demands so that he'll just end up killing me. And his answer is, we're gonna kill the people who were in charge of teaching you about our culture. And they did. It was not an idle threat. And she didn't care. And I'm like, these two are not good people, but they're cute together. That's all that matters. Sam, the research geek in me is so simping. I like knowing things and I like researching. And I have gone through various stages where I do like look up the tattoo cultures just from different places around the world, because they're all tattoos and body art is so deeply rooted in so many cultures. And I just like to know how, why, and like what kind of symbols or designs that they frequently use. So like the horse with the sun ray mane looking thing. I only assume they're sun rays because that's how it looks in like Aztec and Mayan artwork when they do the sun. So I think it's like I've seen that symbol before in mythology. Some sort of god, but I can't remember which one. Go on with what you were gonna say, Tina.
For me, my research topic of choice is food.
Yes.
Mostly just through like chatting with people and being like, so how does your culture do this food? How does your family do this food? Like I was having a discussion with my coworkers where we learned, because a lot of my coworkers are Italian, and we learned that we have the same like base lentil soup, but in Greece, you add like olive oil and vinegar on top to create like sort of a surface where when you dunk the bread, it also has the olive oil and vinegar as well as the soup on it. And then you just take the bread and just, but they don't do the olive oil and vinegar on top. They just have the base soup. And I was like, is that your family specific, do you think, or do you think it's like a more culturally wide thing? And they were like, I don't know. So I went to another Italian person. I was like, okay, does your family do it this way? And they were like, well, our family learned from like an in-law about how in Spain they add the vinegar on top, but not the olive oil. And I was like, it's almost like a game of telephone, you know? And I'm like, must do more research, must know.
This horse. Seen that before. I just don't know what. Sorry, my husband was curious as to what horse I spoke of. Yeah, it's I love things like that where it's like this feels just like a weird cultural game of telephone for these countries in this area, very similar to like the nine-tailed fox in Japan, China, and Korea.
Mm-hmm.
I have forgotten everything I knew about the Chinese version of the nine-tailed fox. And I was like, what is it called? I don't know. But they're like very similar, but also slightly off from each other. So I think all of them involve needing to be 1,000 years old to be super powerful. They're like, you gotta get there. I think I know the Kyumiho, which is the Korean one, it like eats people's livers. I think the Japanese one. No, kitsuns, they're just like harmless tricksters, I think. But yeah, so next sprint I will be. Oh, there's so many. At least I can like see the thingy, and there's a lot of pictures, so that'll be interesting. Also, though, if you never fully, this probably goes without saying, but never fully trust Google image search, because like I definitely see some tattoos here that I'm like, that there. It's a Chinese dragon.
Oh yeah.
So it's like that is very much not what I was looking for.
I think my kettle is ready for hot cocoa. But I don't
Yum.
want to get up. But also I have an adorable mug I need to show you guys. That
The mug.
because I have amassed quite the collection.
But now I must wonder, why is the triangle on the flag? This is information I need to learn. Because, like, I know what all of our stripes and stars stand for. So now I need to know what the triangles stand for. The volcanoes are pretty self-explanatory. There are volcanoes, and they are important.
It is.
I'll be reading this next. I decided. Ugh, gosh.
I see it's Neil Gaiman, Never Something? Neverwhere.
Neverwhere.
Yes.
Every time I would get the never and then the light would bounce all around again, and I'm like, ah!
Okay.
Neil
Guys,
Gaiman,
look
Neverwhere.
at the little gingerbread guy on my mug.
Aww.
Look how cute he is.
Because of the light, it looked like he was screaming in terror for a moment. I was like, spooky Christmas.
No, he's
light.
so peacefully sleeping. It was in the grocery
nap.
store at Loblaws for you fellow Canadians. And it was a thing of like, that's my local store, and I kept eyeing it throughout the entire December, being like, I don't need another mug, but it's only $8 and it's so cute, but I don't need another mug. And then eventually I had a bad day where I was stressed and I was in the grocery store and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm buying the mug. And I do not regret it. I'm like, now it's my
Nice.
Christmas specific mug.
Yeah.
I'm setting us up our timer.
And Mimi, it does fit in the mug warmer that you got me for Christmas.
Yay!
I'm bringing letters to me. Baldur's Gate. My people wait for me there.
It's Capricorn season.
It
Capricorn
is.
season.
I need all the luck I can get. Now you will vote.
Which also mean our dear CB's birthday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
She'll make us all feel a little old as she ages again. And many of us have known her since she was 17. "21. That's how old she'll be.
Mm.
God,
Oh yeah, I had a moment of crisis realizing that she's younger than I thought by a couple years, which puts her like, I don't want to get into too much detail, but she's younger than my youngest sibling, and I was like, what? Because I thought she was around the same age or older than my youngest sibling.
If I remember correctly, she is closer in age to my children than she is to me. Let me math that real quick. 34 minus 21. So there's 13 years between me and her. And then 8 years between her and my oldest child. So yeah. Yes. Why are there only 2 likes? Hit the like
I'm on it.
button.
Where did I put the?
Who counted us down this or last time?
I have lost
It's
the
always
tab that
one-
contains us.
That's fine.
Oh, wait, here it is.
It's always wonderful when I go to check my DMs and I just have a wonderful fuck yourself. That I almost never question why is there. Hey, go ahead, Tina.
Oh, I said what I wanted to say.
No,
Just a
no,
quick.
count us down.
Oh! Oh! You can tell how many times I like nearly interrupt you, and you're like, you come back to me. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Can repeat.
Ooh, no.
I don't know if anybody else heard that, but I forgot that they have sound at the end.
It's cute. It's a very cute timer.
So how did everybody do that sprint? I now know what the symbols on the Nicaraguan flag stand for. A little bit about the modern tattoo culture, and then I started reading that research paper. But I had to look up what Greater Nicoya was, because they kept talking about the Greater Nicoya, and I was like, was that Nicaragua? What's going on there? So
I made it to page 123. So I have about 300 pages left of this manuscript, so I'm just done for the night. I almost read 100 pages today. It was like 90 pages that I read.
Damn.
I'm tired.
Oh,
Yeah,
good to know.
understandably.
Good to know. Kelly says if it looks like a research paper, not just a article. So there's citations at the bottom of every page, and also in the little preview I saw pictures. So I did that with my pumpkin mugs, you know. Such cute Capricorn goat.
So cute.
I do not know if Violet makes the little symbols herself or if she gets them off Canva or what, but all of her zodiac timers are adorable.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
Ooh, flights?
They are.
Whereabouts you moving to, if I can be nosy? But in case anyone was curious, the triangle stands for equality, and there's a little red cap in there. I forgot what the cap of freedom, I think.
I spent the sprint working on my planner. I am almost finished my list of goals for the year, which I'm planning to post in the Sam's Realm and then do a monthly check-in on. So join the Sam's Realm to see Tina's list of goals.
I'll start doing
to sway you.
I'll start doing my list again after I take my shot. So
I have 2 planners now. I have this one, which I bought like months ago. This was supposed to be like my all-time planner, and then my mom got me this one, which is like a manifestation planner, all fancy and stuff. So I use this one for. Oh, it's so pretty. What do you have? Yeah. So I use the manifestation planner for all things writing, and this one for like work and appointments and finances.
their first set of life stuff.
I got everything in here. But although I do now have that work, I've because people kept asking me what day I did things, and I was like, I don't know. So I started in a notebook. I have a captain's log of like everything I did. Right.
January 3rd.
Yeah.
Sailor Twilight worked on her grades that are due for tomorrow, but it was productive. Well, that's good.
Nice.
You've got things done. I had to take a moment to respond to something on Discord. And, you know, Artemis is laying like right at the bottom, so I could not see where I was typing. And that bothers me because I'm like, now I can't see if like I make a typo or something, or if I need to delete. I don't know how far back to delete. And so I like tried to put her out the way a little bit, and she was just very confused and upset. And I was like, you know what? I'll just shrink the Discord and then push it up so that my typing box is higher, because I don't really need to see the whole conversation. I just need to see what I'm typing. And then she stood up, and I was like, Artemis, this isn't going to work, buddy. Like, I need you to pick a spot. And then she laid back down. So also, it's raining very heavily here because I can hear it like hitting over there and stuff. And every time I hear it, I have two reactions to just saying it's raining, it's pouring, and also to lay down and nap.
Mm.
Because it's raining, it's pouring.
Does that make you the
Suddenly-
old man who is snoring?
No, because he
Suddenly
went
it's
to
like-
bed with a cold in his head and couldn't wake up in the morning. I don't want to die from a flu.
You're like singing, and I'm just like, it's raining men. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen.
In the version I remember, it's he went to bed, bumped his head, and couldn't get up in the morning, so he died of concussion.
That's the one I know.
He dies
Bumped
of
his
many
head.
This poor man.
things. Had a cold and then he bumped. Oh man, yeah. Rain makes me sleepy too. Napping when it rains is the best. Especially when like
Yes.
I'm already tired because my sleep schedule's fucked up. So
That's the one thing I miss about Florida is all the rain, and I'm just like, I wish.
do you miss all the rain in Florida, dear?
No.
Chris does not miss all the rain in Florida. Amy said she misses it.
We get no rain here. It's
Well,
so sad.
we get less. Okay. Good night.
Help.
We did not have time to put your new shelf together.
We had
You were playing Baldur's Gate.
going on the same ball.
Yes, I will in fact blame Baldur's Gate when it's preventing you from doing other things that you yell at me for not doing. We got him a new shelf unit thing for his figures, and it came in today, which, my God, it came in 2 boxes. They were heavy. I had to bring them in the house, and they were taller than my door. Heavy things that are taller than my door when I have fatigue. It's a good thing I'm good at walking things. But yeah, so I brought them in the house, and when the second sprint started, he's like, "Are you gonna go help me put together the Billy?" And I was like, "No. I mean, I will, but not today." And like he asked me this as he's playing his game on the computer. I'm like, "Sir, you're not serious."
We're playing this game right now.
One of
Oh,
we just
nice.
got for somebody.
It's freaking Mario on LSD. Like
That's what it looked like.
it is literally like you hit like this object, and then everything gets trippy on purpose, and it's just like, okay.
I mean, Mario already takes mushrooms, so I am not
Yeah.
surprised. My brain is still not working today. Chat, I need you to know that I have gotten both CB and Mimi to finally start watching Tale of the Nine Tail with me.
It was so good.
Yeah. I remembered
Yeah.
why I cried, why I didn't just cry, y'all. I sobbed. I look forward to seeing if it's going to be a role reversal of me sobbing and the others not sobbing, or if they're going to sob even worse than me.
We'll see.
Because when I was relay, so because I wanted to know how many episodes we had left when CB and I first started, and I read the episode summary for the final episode, which is the one that made me cry, And then it just like it all suddenly came rushing back to me, and I started tearing up that day. And I'm like, I'm gonna sob all over again. But also, it's gonna take forever because these are hour-long episodes. Trying to make it so the logo is not so in the. There we go. These are hour-long episodes, and so much fucking stuff happens in the episodes. It's like you're watching a movie every time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I forget it's just one episode.
So.
But it's a good time.
It's also one of the. I think it's one of the only romances that I enjoyed, despite not entirely liking or shipping the primary romance. But they've got some good secondary romances that I like. Romances.
This is my first K-drama. So.
Yes, which I did not know until we started watching it. Oh.
Yeah.
Also, though, if anybody wants to watch it on Rakuten Viki, not Netflix, because I don't know who did the Netflix subtitles, but like CB and I were really confused when we were watching episode 2 on Netflix, and then I watched it on Viki with Mimi. And I don't even know the way that they changed the subtitles. Everything made more sense.
Yeah.
And also, the main character seems like a much bigger dick when you watch it on Netflix.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. My cat is laying like right in front of the bottom message, so I wasn't sure if I saw the bottom message, but I am convinced Mario, Peach, and Bowser are in a kidnap rescue kink triad. I like the I don't remember if it's the official thing, but it is what somebody at Nintendo said at some point. Of the Mario games, the cast are all basically supposed to be actors playing out a play. And that's why like Mario Kart and Mario Sports and Mario Golf and stuff are a thing. It's just supposed to be like the actors on like vacation, like team bonding trips together. So it's like Bowser is clocking into his 9 to 5 to kidnap Peach. But then like on their
really
day
funny.
off, they hit up the golf course with Mario. And I'm like, it's my favorite, and I will hear no other theories anymore. That is what's happening. Because
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
cute.
I don't even know what to think of that, but
It explains so many things, and yet leaves
I
other
mean,
questions.
yeah, like how sometimes Bowser will just like tolerate Mario's presence to play golf with him. Sure. But
Or the
like,
Mario
shit.
parties.
Yeah. But like Bowser is like very violent. And I'm just like, I'm
He's
sorry.
blackmailing there's one of the Mario parties where he blackmails people into like going to his birthday party.
Yeah. 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 And like I think I've like, I don't know. I've died too many times falling in lava for me to believe that, but okay. That's what Nintendo says. That's what Nintendo says.
See, then it makes sense. You're not actually following in lava. That's just special effects. You're fine. Oh man, so I watched the new Mario movie with people and stuff, right? And
Yeah.
of course, in the movie, Bowser is obsessively in love with Peach. Jack Black does a phenomenal job. The song Peaches
Yeah, he did.
is everything. Yeah. But I remember I was talking to my one friend about it. They're like, man, I don't know if I like what they did to Bowser. And I'm like, what you mean? They're like, well, because they made him in love with Peach. And I'm like, he's always been in love with Peach. They're like, what? No.
I know.
I'm like, yeah. Why do you think he kidnaps her in the games? And they're like, I just never thought about it. And I'm like, he literally like Wedding Peach and Wedding Bowser were a reference to the games. Like there's a Wedding Peach in the games.
And it's
they
like
were
older. It's
Yeah,
older
it's
than
old
Galaxy
one,
because it
too.
referenced the cartoon
the
show.
groom. Yeah. So it's like they were like, I guess I just never thought about it. I'm like, yes. Like, that's the whole thing. That he's in love with Peach, so he kidnaps her, and now Mario's trying to save her. And yeah, so it blew their mind. So that was great. No problem. YouTube cannot be trusted.
I know that like some people were like mad that Peaches was not nominated for an Oscar. It should have been.
I would have been over the moon had it been. Yes.
I haven't
Have you
it yet.
seen the? Oh. Well, now you know that Bowser sings a song called Peaches.
Oh, I knew that from
Well,
just.
I was figured you can't be on the
Interesting.
internet without knowing that by this point. Have you seen the video that Jack Black made of himself
I didn't want spoilers.
cosplaying Bowser while singing Peaches?
I have.
I know he did that, but I haven't actually seen it because I didn't want spoilers.
He has apparently there are 4 roles that he has always wanted to play, and he has now played 3 out of 4 of them. One of them was Bowser. I can't remember what the other ones were, but he says he doesn't want to reveal the 4th one because he thinks that if he does, he might jinx it. But I think one of them was like School of Rock. Because like not all the roles were necessarily things that existed per se, so much as it's just things he wanted to do. So, and I'm like, I hope he gets that final role, whatever it is. Producers,
Yeah.
give Jack Black his final dream role. Because like when people were shitting on the voice acting for the Mario movie, I was like, don't you dare! Jack Black's Bowser is perfect. There it is. I will defend nobody else, but Jack Black's Bowser. Oh, and whoever played Luma.
Oh my god. I was not excited. Like I was so excited to see Luma, and then when the moment it opened its mouth, I was like, wow.
I didn't really know anything about the Lumas except that they were like Rosalina's version of toadstools. That is all I knew.
Yeah.
And the moment that thing started talking, I was like, that's my favorite. My favorite character in this movie. But yes. If you haven't seen the Mario movie, even if you don't play the games, it's an entertaining watch.
It is.
You may, in fact, enjoy it more if you haven't played the game. Depends on how you enjoy your media. That Luma was so good. My sister, I think, watched it for the first time when she was over here with the kids. No, it was a birthday party, I think. And my aunt wanted to watch a movie, and so we put on the Mario movie because my aunt hadn't seen it yet. So that was fun watching it with my aunt for the first time and everyone else who wanted to see it or who had already seen it. And yeah, my little sister hadn't seen it, and I was like, you have to see the Luma. I'm like, this. She just looks at me and she goes, okay. And then she loved it, and I was like, yes.
Billie Eilish's song for Barbie won the Golden Globe and was also nominated for the Oscar. I can't listen to that song without crying.
Yeah,
Which one was hers?
What Was I Made For?
Ah, that's a good song.
Yeah, I just start like every time it plays. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it will come as an absolute shock and surprise to anybody who has seen the Barbie movie that the song that has been stuck in my head ever since I watched the Barbie movie recently was "I'm Just Ken."
I think that was also nominated.
That one is just so alternative rock silliness. I love it, but also there is a thing to it.
I think it was also nominated, if I'm not mistaken. But
Chris and I finally were able to watch that movie this week, sometime within the last week. So we had been really looking forward to it, but just had not had time or availability.
what did you think of it?
Also, I loved it. I was pretty sure I was gonna love it. So, Will Ferrell in any he's been in several toy movies now, and he's great in all of them. But he's always like the silly CEO. He's always the corporate people. He's the silly corporate people in charge, because he was that in the Lego movie too. So
I love the joke where they're like, how do we get back to Barbie Land? You do everything backwards.
I love the weird Barbie reference.
Yeah.
Everybody has a weird Barbie.
I usually want to be weird Barbie for Halloween. I loved Barbie, and I wanted to purposely misshave my head so it was sticking out as if you chopped it with scissors. But I was sick that weekend, so I didn't get to dress up.
Well, you know, Tina, next year, me and both my sisters are going to be dressing up as different Barbies for Halloween, because I don't remember what my aunt was talking about, but she was like, yeah, so-and-so wouldn't dress up as Barbie for $100. And I was like, I would. And I'm like, yes? Like, I have Barbies. I have nothing against Barbie. Why would I not dress up as Barbie for $100? Come on now. She looked at both my sisters and she's like, would you two? And they were like, well, yeah. So now my sisters and I are organizing which Barbies we're going to be next year.
Oh, that's so cute. I liked the whole, she was there crying like, she thinks I'm a fascist. It's just like... Oh my gosh.
Just the opening too, I was like dying on the floor of the theater at the opening. It was just perfect. Like, I was like, I know exactly what I'm getting into now, and I love it. Like, and then I spent the end credits pointing at things to my friend Dan, who he has a sister, but he was never a Barbie's dude. But I spent the entire credits pointing, being like, I had that one.
Yes, me too. Me too.
I went into this movie and I was like, I had forgotten my Barbie era of my childhood. So I was like, well, I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to remember seeing or anything. But then I'm like, no, this is the dream house. And I'm like, oh, Skipper. And like the like Midge one. And Chris is like, there's a pregnant Barbie. And I'm like, yes. And parents were angry. They were so angry about Midge. And like the dog, the little dog toy that pooped, and he's like, it poops. I'm like, yeah, it just goes around in a circle, and it's like a real puppy.
Yeah.
So it was.
I think my sister had one of those dogs. She was the one of our family who was obsessed with Barbie, and I got like pulled in by her.
I will say, in like accordance with hashtag poor upbringing, a lot of the like fancier stuff, I was like, I remember that commercial.
Yeah.
Like, I did not own it, I did not play with it, but I remember that commercial. So But what I did not remember was Alan. I was like, who is Alan?
I mean, isn't he like an old doll? Like
I think
Alan?
he came out
Mhm.
because like halfway through the movie, I started having vague memories of him. I think he came out around the same time Skipper did, because it was like Skipper is Barbie's friend, and then Alan is Ken's friend, and they even kind of look similar-ish. But then like nobody cared about Alan anymore.
He was introduced in 1964. And in the 90s, he was like, oh, he's marrying Midge, apparently.
Oh, he's Midge's baby daddy.
Yeah.
These things. That
Yeah,
version of
there you
Alan
go.
I didn't play with, but I did have the Midge wedding set with that Alan. Twilight was like, he doesn't get to be the baby daddy.
I had
Shotgun
Teresa.
wedding.
I had
Who was-
Teresa.
Yeah, she was one of Barbie, but she looked, like she was 10 and brunette, so it was like automatically. But, because yeah, for me it was a thing of like I didn't even want Barbies, particularly as a kid, but everyone in the family would buy them for both me and my sister. Assuming either that I wanted to play Barbies or that it would make me play with her. And then she would peer pressure me into playing with her. And I remember there was several times where I would fake having a headache to get out of it.
You pulled out the 1920s to 1960s playbook.
Yep.
I remember I customed my own rocker Barbie, which I guess would have been my version of Weird Barbie.
I remember one time me and
think
my
I still
sister
have
played
box with my Sailor Moon Barbies somewhere.
I remember once me and my sister played all the Barbies get kidnapped and sent to a deserted island, which required tying their arms and legs with hair ties. But my sister had a massive collection of Barbies, so it was easily like 30 Barbies.
Oh my god.
Going around it. Oh, shenanigans.
I sometimes watch this YouTuber, this gamer. Every year for Valentine's Day, he'll play a Barbie video game. And I'll watch him play it. And he knows nothing about Barbie. He's just like, Teresa is evil. Like, that's his one opinion.
The Barbie movies, like the animated ones and stuff, my sister was obsessed with them. And I mean, to this day, fucking loves them. And they're actually really good quality movies. Like, my damn. So, like, we'll watch those. But I guess because of our personalities and our demeanors, people just expect that neither one of us were Barbie girls or that we would be very anti-Barbie. And we're like, excuse you? Barbie Nutcracker? Barbie Princess and the Pauper? That shit was good.
There was this one online game. I think it was on like Barbie.com, and it was you made a Barbie fashion magazine, and the front cover you would like customize, right? Me and my sister freaking loved that one, and our dad got so mad at us because we printed a couple off.
Barbie was the original. She like had the original doll maker games, man.
Yeah.
You could dress her up and shit. Also the horse games.
Oh yeah. Those I've always wanted one of those.
I remember being bad at those.
Oh, they are terrible. There's a game shop that recently went out of business here. And like their last day sale, they were selling like it was like a retro game shop. So they've got like PS1, Sega, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, And
Oh man.
they also had some Wii and Wii U games. And we have a Wii U. It was a Barbie horse. It's either Barbie horse or My Sims horse, but either way, it's a horse game on the Wii U, and it was only a couple bucks. So we got it for my youngest, and she's sitting there trying to make the horse turn. She's so mad at it. And I'm like, I know that shit's hard. And she like pulls out the little game book and she's like, I'm reading the instructions. Like, nah, that shit is redunculously difficult. I just want to steer my horse. Why? The My Little Pony horse game for the PC was infinitely better.
I remember growing up on My Little Pony. I had My Little Ponies, like from the 80s. You know, like I watched that cartoon. It was weird. It was a little disturbing at times, actually.
It's fine. It's fine.
I remember what I was.
I will say, like, my favorite theme song from any of those old, like, candy / toy related cartoons was Gummy Bears. Which, has anybody else watched Gummy Bears?
I mean, I saw Care Bears. Not the same thing, right?
No, Gummy Bears. I don't think I've met anybody else who actually used to watch Gummy Bears. It's on Disney Plus for anybody who's curious. But like, basically, the premise of the cartoon is that these like bear people have the secret of gummy berry juice, and it makes them like bouncy and shit. And they like use the gummy berry juice to help fight the evil. It's like kind of a Robin Hood situation. Mm-hmm. And these like two kids find them and they help out the kids. But like the theme song is such a bop because it's like gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. We are the gummy bears. Friendship and mystery is part of our history, along with the secret of gummy berry juice. And like, yeah, it's so good.
I know this one.
Tina might know it. Chris didn't believe me it existed. I had to like find it and show him, and he's like, "The fuck is this?" And I'm like, "It's gummy bears, bitch."
Oh, now that I see stills of it, yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
We were recently in another like old game because they're like popping up everywhere here, popping up and shutting down. Just like stores dedicated to like old toys or something. And we were in it and we looked at this one thing and I was like, I saw it and I'm like, no, I don't know what that is from. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, the theme song's not popping into my head. And he's like, what? And I'm like, look, I know the theme song for shows I've never even seen before. Don't question me. If I don't know the theme song, I don't know it. I remember the theme. Yeah, it's such a good theme song. DuckTales was awesome.
I had a My Little Pony, and one of our dogs chewed the back legs off.
No.
And I was like,
attach a wheelchair.
Exactly. I was like, she's going on a wheelchair. I cut her front legs off, and there you go.
No, what?
I was like, no.
Glue her to a Barbie wheelchair, and she'd be good. You know? Sam, have you seen an 80s cartoon?
Yes.
That does not sound familiar. So
that's a good one. I know it's a Canadian show. I don't know how much crossover it got.
Yeah, I don't know how many Canadian shows because I saw some Canadian shows when I was older, like 16.
Oh yeah.
The one
my
in
God,
the mall.
16. Huh?
It was like they were like mostly they hung out in the wall. They were a group of 16-year-olds. Like most of them worked in the mall and they hung out in the mall.
I think of them.
Wasn't like Totally Spies French Canadian? Or am I getting that wrong?
I can't remember if it was French Canadian or actually like French because there is
I
actually
think it was French.
It might actually be French.
Cartoon Network weirdly, or not Cartoon Network, whatever channel aired Totally Spies got a lot of French animation from France. So
Oh wow.
like,
Okay.
we got a lot of French cartoons.
Because I could have sworn too that the studio that did Totally Spies also did a bunch of other series that were in like similar styles. Like
Yeah,
there
that's
was
what
Martin
I'm thinking.
Mysteries.
Yes, Martin Mysteries, and they did
Oh, Martin Mysteries was so good. I did really love Totally Spies too.
it was like
Wait. Angela Anaconda is Canadian?
Yeah. Oh my god, I hated her.
Wow.
Uncanny Valley. Let me find a list of more of the Canadian animated shows.
I looked up the Raccoons theme song, and it's like the Raccoons remastered Gummy Bears, and I'm like, one of these is not like the other. That's not in my headphones. I'll listen to that later. I'm not getting copyright struck by the Raccoons.
Raccoons was good.
Yeah, Angela Anaconda was so, like, I don't know. Something about it made me uncomfortable to watch.
Uncanny Valley.
Code Lyoko. That was another French one.
No. What?
I vaguely remember that one, but not liking it either.
It is Les France.
Ren and Stimpy is Canadian?
You can keep it.
Yeah, apparently. I did not know.
Oh.
Stimpy.
Oh my god.
I'm looking at the...
This is kind of like the time, like, when I was a child, I didn't know Super Mario was Japanese. And then I was like maybe 11. When my mom was like, it's Japanese. And I was like, no, it's not. It's Italian.
Mom, Mario speaks Italian.
Bob the Builder is Canadian? I did not know this.
No, you're kidding me. Oh my god, I didn't know that either.
You was Canadian? That makes sense.
As we can.
Oh, Clone High. I freaking love Clone High. I have to catch up on the new one.
May I help you? They both just stopped and looked at me. What are you
I'm just going to be
doing
staring
over
at this list all sprint.
Yes, my voicings. Hold on. Yes, my voidlings. People's.
Ed, and Eddie is Canadian too, or at least Canadian made.
No.
Yeah.
What? My mind is blown.
I think a lot of it is shows that like were created in America and then like split up the work with Canadian studios, because I know like that's
okay.
a thing. And this list on Wikipedia is not specifying. Like it says like American co-production, but it's not specifying like which
Can I help you?
studio is like responsible for the show and what helping out. You know.
We outsourced to Canada.
We outsource to everywhere.
I actually
Canada,
have friends who.
Philippines. I think we only technically don't outsource to Japan because we make contracts to just get their stuff.
I've had like friends who I went to school with who've ended up like working for the companies that do that kind of stuff. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna count down for our final sprint of the night. See what the fuck my voidlings want. Stop eating that chair. 3, 2, 1, go. Shin, we're back.
Yippee. The comments were mostly me going through that list and screaming about old shows that I had forgotten about.
Oh, that's good. I have some ideas, but I have not decided upon Moxie's tattoos yet. The list of Canada TV shows continues. Oh no, Jacob, Tutu, also Babar, Madeline, The Magic School Bus.
That
Max
shocks
and
me.
Ruby. With the magic, because it was so American school system. I think they were out.
I think it was one of the outsourcing ones. Also, Jacob Tutu was like, what if Caillou was older and somehow more annoying? His whole shtick is that he repeated everything twice, and it got old very fast.
I've never seen Caillou, so. Max and Ruby, Pippi Longstocking, Atomic Betty.
Oh, Atomic Betty is so fucking good. It's basically like
for nostalgia in mind, by the way. I read more of Bookshops and Bone Dust. Nice.
That's
I was reading through the paper, which I could skim a bit of it because I didn't need to know about the making of the FFGs and certain parts like that. So, but it's kind of funny because I was thinking of like having her have jaguar spots on one arm, like tattooed on one arm, and I'm like, I don't know if people would feel like that's too much though, but like that is the thing that like people legitimately do, and it's like jaguars and jaguar spots are very symbolic within many cultures. And then I was like, and maybe something to Kukulkan on this arm with like feathers or whatever. And then like literally one of the effigy statues is like jaguar spots all here and then down their other leg and then some like feathery spiral things here. And I'm like, I mean, perhaps my subconscious understands things better than my conscious does sometimes. So still not sure if I'm going to go with that, but that was my first thought, and so it may be the strongest one. Who knows? Because Moxie 100% would get jaguar tattoos tattooed to her human form. Just let people wonder if that's just like, do shifters just have spots or what? Just like sat in the chair while he stabbed me for this shit.
We started cooking, and Maz is finishing what I started.
Nice.
So, my husband, we're making pesto chicken ravioli.
That sounds tasty. I also called the children because I needed to make sure that their showers and stuff are in progress because they should be mostly through their bedtime prepping routine by now. Which they are for the most part. I just need to holler at one to make sure they shower. The rain makes it colder, which would be fine if it wasn't winter. See, it makes it cold, but not cold enough for snow. My children, for the first time this year, they were like, Mom, are we going to get snow on Christmas? And I'm like, I don't think we've got snow on Christmas in the entirety of your life. Like, I think the last time there was snow on Christmas in our part of Tennessee, you were not born. And because, you know, climate change, my snowy winter doesn't hit until January, February now instead of November. So... But they're like, so it's not going to be a white Christmas? And I'm like, once again, I don't understand where your feelings are coming from, as you have never had a white Christmas. So, like, why are you so sad? Like, What propaganda have you been watching?
Oh my god.
Because this is not coming from life experience. And then they're like, well, why won't there be snow? And I'm like, because we live in the South. And they're like, so we're never going to have snow? And I'm like, well, we're not that far south.
Aww.
I'm like, you have experienced snow. I have video of you playing in the snow. You have had snow fights. We have built a snowman. Like, what is going on? I just don't know. Don't know what happened. Don't know where it came from. And then they just also stopped caring as suddenly as they started. So I'm like, you know what we had for Christmas this year? Tornadoes. Most people get snow blizzards. We had a tornado.
I just sent you a photo, Sam, of like last year here. It went down to like -15.
Oh dear.
And like
Fox
I
said-
don't know if the picture. Mhm.
Fox said Christmas in Canada for the children. Let there be snow.
Yes.
We didn't even get. We got snow like one day in December, and it didn't stick around. It was like barely an inch. And
Well, you're on the opposite
last
coast
night
in
we got a layer.
Canada. Like, you're over here with me. Fox is over there with Mimi.
I mean,
we
didn't get much snow this year either. But the picture I showed you was like when it was -15, and like you can see like the snow has frozen over, and there's like feathers. It looks like feathers. It's just frozen ice, just kind of frozen in place. It's just so. It was such a weird phenomena.
Fox said Tina Land doesn't get real snow.
Tina doesn't get snow. Thank you.
I know Fox was dealing with some sort of snow issues already this year, I think, unless my memory is mixing years.
We used to get real snow. We had a power outage for like, I think it was like 4 days because of the snow one winter. And my family was in the epicenter of it. Slept for 2 nights without heat. Was not great.
Oh my
I just
God.
need you to know, because our power is usually taken out by like thunderstorms and not our snow. I was like, the fuck does a power outage have to do with snow? Then I realized, I'm like, oh, wait. All weather phenomenons can fuck your power over, Sam. Does not matter. But it was just a very jarring transition for me for a hot second.
I mean, usually
This
when
one
we
year?
get power outages, it's from storms. But
This one year in Miami, it went down to like 30 Fahrenheit, which is cold for South Florida.
Yeah.
And all of our crops died. And we don't have heaters in most of our homes. Like we didn't have a heater in the house. So I had to layer up in like 3 pairs of socks and all of it, because it's also 100% humidity. So that cold just kind of seeps into your bones at that strong of humidity, and
Air
we just
conditioners
have to
are
layer
also
up.
questionable in Florida, I discovered. Fox, please throw that in the Mila note for me. Thank you. Aha. Are you prepared, Gina?
no, not yet. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna move around my windows here. Where is that window?
I don't know where it went.
There we go.
I've never lost a window on the computer in my life.
Never ever, eh?
Never. This is unheard of.
So, as you may have heard in the intro, I am Tina, aka Cabby Online, and when I'm not hanging out upside down, slightly diagonally, I'm making queer art and comics. I've got lesbian vampires, deep sea mermaids, queer gay secret admirers, and friendship drama. I will post my my link in the commentos, or you can type in everything that's here. But yeah, thank you for hanging out and listening to me cackle like a witch, and watch me wipe tears out of my eyes because I was laughing so hard. But yeah, that's me.
Give me 1 second. I have to send a sassy gif, and then I'll switch us over to Mimi.
Just relax. And don't forget, I have 2 buddies.
Hi, I'm Mimi. I'm a dark fantasy and horror writer, and I'm working on my debut novel. It's going slow and steady. Wins the race, right? I don't know. I lovingly call my whip my hell book, and yeah, it's a fun time, I guess. And you can follow me on my social media. All my links are shown at the right. I'm at Mirav Levy Writes everywhere.
And I am writing Maria Samantha L. Nassett. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, writer parent things, and am routinely a problem child. You can find me at anywhere as SamanthaLNassett.com. You can also join my Discord server at my Coffee Cookie Ko-Fi down below for the $1 tier. And I will be doing live streams like these every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will also be doing 2 Wednesday ones from 1 to 4 Central Standard Time. I hope to see y'all there. I appreciate everybody coming out, saying hi, hanging out with us, getting some stuff done. And we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.